Let's knit the last row of pattern 1. This is the increase row marked in green here. The dots represent the increases. Ignore the black squares, they are placeholders. Watch part 1 to see the previous rows of pattern 1. Your piece should be measuring around 6 centimeters in height. With this new row, we will increase the stitch count from 34 stitches to 48 stitches, adding an additional 14 stitches. To keep it symmetrical, we will increase with M1R on the right 17 stitches and with M1L on the left 17 stitches. We are still working with our 5mm needles. Let's get into it. Knit the first stitches heading up to pattern 1 according to the size you're knitting. For size L, knit 1 and then do 3 repetitions of knit 3, purl 3. Pattern 1 refers to the center 34 stitches that stay the same throughout all sizes. Pattern 2 will continue with 48 stitches. Let's start the increase row leading up to the 48 stitches. First, knit 2 normal knit stitches. Now let's make one right by lifting the center loop with your left needle entering from the rear. Then knit through the front strand of the loop like you would normally. Knit through as seen here and then adjust the knit stitches a bit. You now have 3 on your right needle. Now knit the last stitch of this 4-stitch sequence. Then we will move on to the purl stitches. So yarn over your yarn to the purling position and get started with purling 2 stitches like you would normally purl them before we move on to making one right, this time purlwise. Right now we're knitting the second normal purl. Lift it off, adjust your project. To make one right purlwise, we again enter with our left needle from the rear through the loop, and with our right needle we enter through the front strand of the loop and purl like we would normally do. There you go. So now we have one extra purl stitch, 1, 2, 3. And we will make one last one. Here a normal purl stitch. Purl through, adjust your project a little bit, and then we proceed with another sequence of knit stitches. So far we have 2 extra stitches, one being in the 4 knit stitches here and another one now in the 4 purl stitches. Continue increasing with M1R until you see the center clip. And now we will continue with our knitting sequence. So first knit 2 normal stitches, 1 and 2. And then we will proceed with making one right knitwise. So again, lift off the loop with your left needle from the rear and then purl through the front strand of the loop with your right needle, knitting like you would normally knit. Now one last knit stitch and we are done increasing one in this knitting sequence. We will now continue on with purling again. So again, purl 2 normal purls. So purl 1 and pull through. And now for the second purl and pull through. And now we again arrive at making one right purlwise with entering through the loop from our rear with the left needle, and now with the right needle we at least try to enter through the front strand of the loop and purl it off like you would normally purl. Beautiful. Now we have a third purl that was not there before. Let's purl the last purl of these 4 stitches, and we already increased it by 4 extra stitches. Now we will continue another 4 stitches of knitting with 1 increase in there. So knit 1, adjust, knit 2, and then make one right again by going through the rear, using the front strand of the loop to make your knitting increase. It tends to be a bit difficult, but you'll manage. And then we can proceed with the very last knit stitch. And here you go. So far we increased the row by 5 stitches. Now we have 2 more stitches left where we want to increase using M1R. So until the clip that you just saw. And then we will continue on with making one left on the left side of this clip and making one right on the right side of this clip. Take off your stitch marker if you have one like me. And then let's proceed with increasing. This time we increase 2 times in our sequence of 4. So first purl 1 like you would normally, and once you pull it through, you will make one right purlwise again and do the usual procedure. So then purl that off, and now we have another normal purl left to do. And after we do that, we will do our 7th increase with making one right purlwise. So entering again through the rear, and with our right needle we go through the front strand, and at least if it lets me, I'm helping a bit with my hands in order to get that very stubborn yarn strand over my needle, and I purl through like I would normally do on a purl stitch. So here you go. This is our entire right side so far with 7 increases, and this is our center as you can see. So now let's proceed making one left for the next 7 increases. We start with the increase right away to make it more symmetrical. So make one left by entering through the front this time with your left needle, and with your right needle you will now enter from the back, trying to exit your needle in the middle between the front strand and the back strand, which tends to be a bit tricky. But if you help with your hand a little bit, you will manage just fine. And then you will purl through like you would normally purl a stitch. Okay, it's tougher than expected, but I will manage with some patience. There we go. Now secure that and make sure you don't lose anything. And then we will proceed with our normal purl. So purl that one off, and then we will make another one left purlwise again with entering the left needle from the front through our hoop here in the middle. And once we get that on our needle, we use our right needle, entering from the back through the back strand. And I find this one the most tricky increase because you need to somehow get your needle through the back strand and then also exiting here in the middle. Worked quite well, but not always. And now let's take our yarn and we purl through. So this is now already our 2nd increase after the center using M1L, and now we purl 1/4 stitch and we're done with the 1st increase. I like to loosen it a bit. Here on the right side you have the M1Rs and on the left the M1Ls, and we continue with that. I'm putting my stitch marker or clip back to mark my center so I remember the important stuff in the next row and to have a better overview. So this is what it looks like so far. We should now have already included 9 more stitches, so we have 5 increases left to do in order to add up to 14 extra stitches so that we can continue with pattern 2 while having 48 stitches instead of 34 as we had now in pattern 1. Let's knit 1. I forgot to film, but please knit. And then we continue with making one left knitwise by again going through the front, lifting off the loop with our left needle, and then with our right needle we will this time knit through the back strand of our loop, and then we will knit like we would normally knit a knit stitch, take that off, and then we proceed with 2 more knit stitches. So make 1 knit stitch and take it off, and now for the last knit stitch to complete the sequence. We now have another purl to knit, or to purl, and then we will make another one left purlwise, so entering with our left needle from the front into the loop, putting that on the left needle. Now with the right needle we will purl through the back strand of this loop, so aim for the back strand and then don't come out here but here through the middle, and purl this purl stitch off of your left needle. Now we have another 2 normal purls to do, so do 1 and after that a second purl. Perfect. Let's continue with our knit stitches. So we first knit a normal knit stitch, and after that we make 1 left. So knit 1 and now make 1 left by going through the front, and then with the right needle you knit through the back strand of the loop. So this is make 1 left knitwise, and now we have 2 normal knit stitches ahead of us, so do 1 and then do the second one to complete the sequence of 4 knits. Adjust everything as you need to, and then let's continue with our purls. So first purl a normal purl stitch, and then we will make another one left purlwise, entering through the front with our left needle, and with our right needle we enter through the back strand, exiting here in the middle, purling like normal and purling it through. And once we have that, we will now add another 2 normal purl stitches. Well, the dogs are going crazy. So 1 and 2. Take that off, adjust, and now we don't have much to do anymore. We only have the last 4 knit stitches with 1 increase being in there. So knit 1 normal and then make 1 left knitwise by going in through the front, and with your right needle you enter through the back strand, and I picked up the wrong thing, so do that again. Knit through the back strand and knit it off. So that's your last increase for the day, and then we have 2 more knit stitches to do, so 1 and 2, and now you can already see my marker that marks the beginning of the next sequence of ribbing, which depends on the size that you chose. For size L you will purl 3, knit 3 times, and then finish with a edge knit stitch. And this here are all the things we were so far knitting with all the increases, so everything is in pairs of 4. Here's our center, so everything on the left was increased by make 1 left, and everything on the right by making 1 right. Here's the group of knit stitches: purl, knit, and purl. And well, this is our beginning ribbing with our garter edge stitch. I am quickly finishing off the last remaining stitches to complete the ribbing, and then I will show you how it looks like in the end. This is so far what we got. Between the clips here you can see the ribbing, which is not included in pattern 1. This is our center, and this is our pattern 1 up to the clips. And well, we will now proceed with pattern 2. Make sure to continue with part 3 to know how to continue the next rows. This is our beautiful ribbing, which measures 6 centimeters in height for all sizes. And we have now successfully increased to 48 stitches. Thank you for watching so far, and feel free to subscribe so that you will not miss out on any of the next videos that I will be posting. And leave a like or a comment of what you think. I would highly appreciate that. So see you next time and enjoy the knitting process.